Good morning, y'all. Today is June 24th, heading to the farmer's market right now and about to get set up. Looking forward to a fun day. And the farmer's market is over with for today. I had to get out of there pretty quick because I'm meeting a friend out at the farm property. He's going to drop off some sort of compost or mulch. He's bringing a trailer. It's the same guy I bought all my organic seed from when I planted the pasture this past fall. We've just been good friends. So I'm gonna meet him out there, unload whatever he has. If we have time, do some lunch afterwards. Also, my friend's not a camera guy, so I probably won't be doing too much recording out there. Good morning, y'all. Today is June 25th. We got some rain real early this morning. The ground's still a little damp, so that is awesome to see. It wasn't a huge band of rain or anything, but anything at this point is great to have. Everything just really greened up out here. It looks so nice. Limpy's been getting around pretty good. I think it's a little better every day. She's actually sitting up here at the front on the left. Looks like somebody busted an egg. Got some yolk on them. Go ahead and get some more food and water for these guys and get them moved. We had a couple really good storms blow through today. So one early this morning and then one just now. There were sirens going off like crazy, tornado warnings, but it really only lasted about 5-10 minutes. We even had a little bit of hail. Not that big, it was more like that big. But anyway, it got me thinking. I never went and looked at my extractor because I just left it out for the bees after I got the honey. And I kind of forgot about it because I've been limping around. I wasn't able to make it all the way out here to check on it. So I should probably go ahead, get that in, cleaned up, and then later this week do some more honey. You know, I'm kind of surprised. There's still a little bit of, it's kind of watery honey at this point because I did get some rainwater in there, but I think I'll leave it and let the bees clean it up some more. You can see they've done a really nice job on the edges. There's a few pieces of wax, but I'll let them slurp that down for a little bit longer and then take it in. Chickens are running around. On this property, I keep them closed in a fence because the neighbors have dogs and they like to get out. So I don't like them just roaming around. They have been better this year though. I don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't seen them out. So I set this little water feeder out for the bees. It had been really dry, so I did this a little while back just to give the bees something to drink, because if there's not enough moisture or the bees can't find it, they will actually start uncapping the honey and eating that just to get some moisture. So I didn't want them doing that. We hadn't had rain in a while. Thankfully we got a couple little storms today, so that should help them out. There's plenty of moisture hanging out here for them now. So this darker chicken right here is Betty. She is a Marin, so she lays the really dark eggs. My grandma named her. I put a little green band on her so we could tell her apart from everybody. A few of the chickens out here have names. The rooster is Doodle Doo. He's a good boy. His beak's getting really long. Right here is Miss Frizzle. I gave her that name because she's the one that always goes broody on me. And anytime you get around her, she gets really fluffed up and cute looking. We have a couple others. We have Houdini over here, and she got her name because all she ever did was escape under the net and just roam the property. So that's Houdini. She's a cool chicken. And then Leia is the furthest chicken in the corner there on the left. That was actually, I think, a YouTuber named her for me. I was just wanting to name a couple chickens. So she has a purple leg band. Went with Leia because she's laying a lot of eggs. So I thought that was pretty clever. I have a few more chickens with names, but they are out at the larger property. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some eggs really quick from these guys, and then we'll do some more farm work. think I ever showed you guys all the bales my friend dropped off for me, but it's just 12 old bales that he had laying around. He was just gonna mulch them up and put them somewhere on the farm, but he figured I could use them. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna use them for just yet. They're rained on and pretty heavy right now, so a little damp. They were already kind of wet to begin with, but originally thought about putting it on the tomatoes, but with the breeze, I don't know if it's just gonna blow away, so I'll think of something for it all. Howdy y'all, today is June 26th. I finally figured out that card reader. So I was messing around with it on Thursday evening, and come Saturday morning by the farmer's market, nothing had cleared, so I had two different cards. I used my credit card to buy something for myself just to see if it would go into my other bank account, and it just didn't. So I didn't feel comfortable having everybody start to swipe their cards on Saturday morning without me knowing where that money was even going. So today I checked and everything finally cleared and went through, so we are good to go for Saturday. So I will have it up and running for this upcoming farmer's market. With that breeze, it is actually a little chilly out today. I'm gonna go ahead, I need to move the chicken net again, so I'm gonna do that really quick and then move the coops, food, water, grab eggs, and then the chickens will be done. I'm watching a friend's farm this week, so chores are taking double long. So I've already done his farm this morning, and now going to do all of mine. All right, y'all, we got an update from the well company. They came out and talked for, a good hour. Really knowledgeable, really nice. It's a father-son duo, which I love. Really nice people. So they dropped their rig off and they're gonna be out tomorrow to actually do the drilling, which I'm super excited about. We decided to move the well a little bit further away for a few reasons, so let me show you. It's pretty breezy out, so I hope you guys can hear all right, but this red flag is where we're gonna go ahead and put the well instead. The original spot was closer to somewhere up in here. It was a little closer to the barn, but we kind of talked about potential septic system in the future. So just to play it safe, we're gonna go ahead and move the well a little bit further off the barn so that way there's no question, because the guy said the county I'm in, they're pretty hard on some of their distances that things need to be. So the septic system will most likely be going from this edge and running out this way. But once again, that's not really even in the works yet, just working on the well right now. So they've got a really nice rig here. It's a lot bigger than the other company that came out. They're putting in a 5-inch casing instead of the 4, so it's going to be a little bigger. And I'm just really excited to have this done. It's going to be a pretty neat process. So they'll be out tomorrow morning to do this, and then they're going to wait anywhere from 2 days to a week just to let everything dry up, because it's going to get super muddy out here. And then they're going to come in and trench it into the barn and get everything set inside. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with all these bales just yet, so I think I'm going to put them on the tarp there, or weed cloth I should say, for when the well gets drilled. That way the water doesn't lift it up and then potentially snap more plants. He made it sound like it could be a lot of water coming out, but once again, you don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a few on the first couple rows just to keep that down. There's a second tomato starting to turn. So my mom's still working on planting a few things here. So these are all the eggplants. She's got quite a lot of them going. I didn't grow any eggplants because she had plenty. So the wind's kind of tearing some of them up because it's been pretty breezy today. She also planted a ton of cucumber, which starts here and keeps on going. I think I did maybe 8 or so, but she definitely beat me on the cucumbers too. Just I didn't figure I needed to do anymore because she had so many. So these are all the cucumbers in this row. I don't know, she's not quite done with this row just yet. She has a little bit more space here toward the end. I don't know if that's gonna continue to be all cucumber or what exactly. And then in this row over here, it's all tomatoes. As far as what sort of tomatoes, she said German Johnson, Kellogg's Breakfast, and pineapple. So the pineapple one actually sounds really interesting. I've never had it before, but supposedly it's super sweet, tasty tomato. It can grow up to, well, the plant can grow up to 6 feet tall, and then the actual fruit or tomato is pretty large. So I'm excited to taste that. It takes a really long time to grow, so I don't know if it'll ever make it to the farmer's market or not, that specific one, but it'll be cool to taste. And then as far as everything else, these are my cucumbers, peppers, squash. You guys have seen all of that stuff. But then there's this front row. Well, actually all those rows are tomatoes. Just the back 3 there I planted, and then the next 2 up here she planted. So we've got a lot of tomatoes. So earlier today, I was just exploring my little town that I'm now in, and there's a feed mill, and I went in and they had these waters here. It's 2.5 gallons, $10. They had 2 of them, so I bought both of them. I get a gallon at Tractor Supply for $10. So this is 2.5 for $10. This is phenomenal. So I am definitely gonna get that out here in the Americanas in the Pearl White Scoop. Good morning, y'all. Today is June 27th. I've already done my friend's farm chores, currently working on mine. The well company just showed up. They're currently setting up, and they're going to start drilling today.
That's that rattle clatter, that gravel.
Ah, okay.
That's what you look for on the ground.
So what they're looking for is a layer of gravel. That's what he came over and showed me. They found it. It was only 17 feet deep. We're definitely going to go deeper than that, but that's what we're looking for. We're currently about 70 feet down. It's just small little rock, a lot of clay, just little gritty stuff. So it's still gonna be a while until they hit anything exciting. It's a little loud out there, so I have to step away to not have to yell at you guys. So we're about 100 foot down and still just getting some gritty, gross stuff, a lot of clay. He said at 94 feet there was some gravel. It might have been able to, you know, do a house, but he just feels like it really needs to go a little deeper just to hit something a little stronger. So we're still gonna go. The neighbors were around 198. I looked at some of the other wells around the area. They're all within 170 to even 250. So we still got a little ways to go. Been drilling for about 3 hours now, and I think we might have just found some water. So we actually had a pretty good vein at 195 feet, but since he did the neighbors, they're at 210, so he knows what their well's pumping, and he said there's a lot of water. So he's gonna go ahead and go another 15 feet just to be sure, because the 15 feet could really make a big difference. So he's gonna go ahead and do that, and then after that we will start the next step. So there was another vein down at 210, and now we're just kind of waiting for that water to clear up a little bit. They say if it's too thick, this white pipe won't stay down real well and it won't float up on them. So we're just waiting for it to clear. This thing to the left over here is a sand separator, and this is all the pipe that's going to go down. It's the 5-inch pipe. what they're doing now, the pipe's all in. They just blew out the drilling water, kind of that murky stuff. They're gonna go ahead and put the rest of the pipe in now, and then they're gonna blow it out, and that'll be the big gush. To see how much water is really down in there and how well this well is gonna work. So here it is, y'all. That is my well. Let me get over there. Got my boots on, of course, because that is some deep stuff. This is the sand, and then that's more gravel stuff. This whiter looking stuff is just really slick stuff that they put on. They're gonna let this dry out, and it'll probably be next week, Monday or Tuesday, when they come out and then actually get everything hooked up in the barn. But I'm really glad to have this done. Feel really good about them. Great people, really nice. What is up with this haze? It keeps getting worse as the day goes on, I feel like. Maybe it's more wildfires or something. So thankfully the water didn't completely flood my garden. It mostly went all the other way, so the pasture got watered really well, which is a great feeling. Also, my garden tape came in so I can kind of help hold my tomatoes up onto this wire I've got going. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. My phone's slowly dying, so I'm gonna go plug that in. So it is in fact more Canadian wildfires up north that is drifting down here. So that's what all the haze is just smoke and junk flying around in the air. It actually does smell like a bonfire out here. Surely someone is just burning something, but it's crazy. I just can't believe how bad this smoke is. It is thick, and I still think I can smell it, but you know, once again, someone could be having a bonfire. It's a little windy for that though. Probably not great to be out breathing it all day. Been out since 7:45 and we're a little past 8 right now. So it's really only gotten bad the past 6 hours. This morning it was there, but it wasn't like this. This is pretty bad. The last time the Canadian wildfire smoke was coming down, we had some really gorgeous sunsets, but it is so thick this go around that we're actually starting to lose the sun in all of it, which is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of tomato picking. I've got a lot of cherries that are needing picked. Doesn't look like much from this view, but there's quite a few in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. We have just about lost the sun. That is amazing. Probably shouldn't be out in it, but I did just finish picking a handful, all that I could carry, of tomatoes. There's still plenty more. I think it's time to start ordering some cartons. Good morning, y'all. Today is June 28th. So far, I finished all the chores out at the larger property, my friend's property, and now I'm gonna go ahead, do a little bit of work here. Mostly, I'm just going to grab my extractor, clean it out. I was hoping that some of this disgusting wildfire junk would, you know, kind of dissipate, but it's not quite noon yet. It's still hanging around really thick, so I don't want to hang out outside too terribly much, but I figured it'd be a good enough day to get some honey. So I'm gonna clean the extractor out, do that, and then come back out, let the chickens out while I'm doing all that. All right, y'all, it is time to harvest some honey. I got my boots on this week, so shouldn't be getting any more stings on my feet. For those of y'all that didn't know, last time, just a couple weeks ago when I got honey, I got stung on both of my feet. It wasn't much fun, couldn't get around. So I have my boots on now, so that should hopefully prevent that. I'm gonna be doing the cedar super there, the lowest one down, not on the big boxes, but this one right here. So gonna go ahead and get in. was like night and day grabbing honey from this hive versus that hive. The white hive, even from the very first time I inspected them, were slightly aggressive. They just came pouring out. They weren't, you know, swarming me real bad, but they weren't happy. And then I guess I should have expected some craziness grabbing honey from them. But night and day. So quick, so simple. The bees weren't just pluming out. Maybe some of this debris in the air has something to do with it, but really quick and simple. We are all set up to extract some honey, so here are the frames. Look pretty good. This was an outer one, so they didn't quite do too much on the edge there. No big deal. Here's the extractor, got it all washed out. No legs this time. And then over here is where we're gonna roll off the caps on the honey. And then it'll go into the extractor, and then we will start bottling. I can do 4 frames at once in this thing, just one side. So I uncap one, spin it out, and then uncap the other side, flip it, and spin that out. So it takes a little while, but this is the fun part, seeing everything coming in. So we're at the point now where it's getting hard to spin because the honey level at the bottom is rising up and starting to hit the racks. So that means it is time to filter. We're gonna take a quick pause from filtering and bottling the honey, and we're gonna go put these back in the hive so the bees can start cleaning them up. It's nice to let the bees clean up anything that's spilled, any little drip or drop of honey. They will love to take back to the hive, but it's also really important that you don't put it right next to the hive, especially now that I have 2 hives pretty close to each other. They'll want to start robbing each other, which is very bad because one hive is gonna starve out, die, not a good thing. So always keep it good and far away from all your hives, so it's just a nice community feeder. So the next part of the process is filtering the honey out. So there's actually 2 filters here. The top one is little larger holes, and then we get down to the fine mesh. So I'm just going to open the honey gate on the extractor and wait for it to filter out. Howdy y'all, today is June 29th. There's a massive storm coming in here just a little bit, so I've got the chickens running around so they can enjoy it before it gets too wet. They don't like hanging out in the rain. So I'm gonna go and start bottling some more honey just in a little bit. I got about 6 jars done yesterday, and it is undeniably from the catmint plant, which is pretty cool. It's unique, delicious. I'm really excited about it, and the bees did a great job. Actually got 30 pounds. So far a really big year for honey. That puts us at about 65 pounds of honey for the year, so super cool. My dad just sent me a video of my larger farm property. He's out there right now. Oh my gosh, that wind is crazy. Oh, I'm kind of worried about the chicken coops honestly blowing over. It's like, oh my gosh, and all the tomatoes. Starting to get darker here, wind's starting to pick up. My dad just said the lights are flickering in the barn. I mean, there's nothing I can do at this point except hope everything's gonna be okay out there. So the storm's starting to die down. Update from my dad is it seems like everything's doing pretty good. Haven't done a close inspection on the plants yet, but at least the chicken coops are still on the ground. So the bottling process is pretty straightforward. Pop the jars into the washer, clean them. From there, put the honey in it. Then I use a heat gun, shrink wrap it, put the label on, and then you get the finished product. You know, I am quite surprised that these tomatoes are still upright. I was pretty worried about them. Put a lot to try and hold this weed cloth down. Thank goodness, unless it would have been ripped up. There's one tomato plant that doesn't look so hot. Bent, but not dead. I was kind of worried about the ones more so with the larger tomatoes on them, but it looks like they're still up, which is great. And I've got 2 big red tomatoes. That one looks just about done. That one's about done. We did lose quite a few green ones that knocked off. This one's bent, but not dead, so that's good. So nothing major yet, thank goodness. The chicken's net is on the ground, but I kind of expected that. Even in a relatively mild breeze, it'll knock over a little bit, but it's just the front part and kind of this edge where the coops weren't where it fell. So the last thing that I wanted to check on was my extractor out here, because I put it out that morning for the bees. I wrote my dad to see if he could hurry and pick it up before the storm came, but that storm hit so quick that he didn't have time to get it. So if anything, a lid might have blown off. Might be a little bit of a search, but hopefully it's okay. I don't think we got any hail out here, so we should be all right. Really nice to have the rain, but could use just a little bit less wind. So I'm gonna go ahead, knock out all the chores, clean up the garden a little bit, and probably do some more staking just in case we get another bad storm. There is a chance that we'll get another little system. Once again, that was the same yesterday. I thought it'd just be a small pop-up, and then it blew up to be this massive thing. So it very well could happen again later today, so I want to be a little more prepared so I don't have anything breaking. And then also gotta put some more zip ties on the pearl whites coop so the tarp doesn't blow up and off. All right, let's check out this hive and see how they're doing. Very unimpressive still. I pulled out that green frame there, that's the drone comb. They did clean it up. There is not one egg in it. And all the other frames in this top box are completely blank. And they put a little bit of propolis in the gaps, but that is literally it. So let's see what that bottom box looks like. Looking at this frame here, there's a little bit of honey stored there, which is fine. There's some pollen kind of packed in there. But you see the little fuzzy patches? Those are the brood or baby bees. Typically, you want to see big chunks of that, not just sporadic smattering of it. So this queen is not doing a very good job. So there's the queen. This is the first time I've seen her. She's kind of tiny. I'm not really impressed with what all she's doing. She's just not laying a great pattern. But I don't know. At least I finally got a glimpse of her. But the bees aren't doing too much. They finally branched out just a smidge on one of the frames there. And then this frame is tucked on the outside here. The other side, they've done just a little bit on. So they have done just the smallest amount of work besides the plastic frames that came on, but they haven't done much. As far as the small hive beetles, nothing in the traps. I saw one and killed it, so I'm not too terribly worried about that anymore. So this hive is just growing really slow, and I think that queen isn't doing a phenomenal job. She's pretty tiny. My other queens and my other hives are a lot bigger than that. I don't know, I got this hive from a small company in, it's not really southern Indiana, but south central Indiana, because I wanted bees from Indiana and just to support a small local company. I also wanted to try out Varroa sensitive honeybees, which is what these are, which are different from the other two hives that I have. Supposedly these guys will clean themselves off more often and knock varroa mites off without dusting with powdered sugar. I still go ahead and do some dusting though on them. So I don't know if it's just the difference in the type of bee. I don't know if it's just the location. I don't know if it's the queen. The queen isn't doing a great job though, I do know that much. But just really slow growing hive. All right, let's check out the white hive here and see how they're doing with their honey supers. I harvested this one right here, this, what was it, a week ago or so? I don't really remember. And then this one they were working on, so let's see how they're doing. So this is the very top super. If you look in there, you can see it's all white. That's capped over honey, which is fantastic. Bees work from the inside out, so if you're seeing the outer frames looking pretty good, then that means this is pretty solid. This is the outer frame here, so you can see there's still some open cells, but they are starting to cap it, which is great to see. So we've still got just a little bit more time on this honey super. That hive is not fun to work with. There's just so many bees in there. Contemplating maybe giving them a third deep box. I don't know, it's just so many bees. But both supers are just about done. I could harvest both of them next week, which is super cool. I've got my suit on for a little longer because there's a couple angry bees that followed me over here, and don't feel like getting stung because I already got stung. So my tripod's broken, so that's why I haven't been able to just set it up in a while and show you guys what I'm doing. But this one would have been a really interesting one to just have it sitting and going. So the buffs and marins are out running around, and I'm in the white hive looking at frames. Hold up. The angry bees are gone, so I can take this off now. But anyway, while I was in the hive, there was a bunch of commotion over here at the chick coop. I couldn't tell what it was, but they were freaking out and all running to one side. And I'm all suited up and there's bees all over me, and nothing I can really do, but they're in the coop, so I'm not too worried. But I look over there and then I see a flash of brown fur, and it wasn't a dog, it was a coyote, and it took off in the woods. So that's fun. Good thing you didn't go over just, 20 more feet and find the chickens that are outside right now. I don't know if he saw me or heard me and took off or what, but that's interesting. I know I've seen some foxes out here, but not coyotes. So something to keep an eye on. I might need to put up an electric fence around them again. But anyway, because of all that, I got stung. Actually through my glove and through my sleeve. So that was a big one. It's on my left arm. Doesn't feel too bad, but I can feel it. So anyways, I'm gonna finish up real quick, and then I have someone actually dropping off some bales out at the larger property. I got a note on my door a couple days ago saying they'd like to donate some bales. So there's someone going to drop that off, and then I have another friend coming to drop some things off in 20 minutes, so I got to get moving. I just barely missed him. He was pulling out. I did get to say hi, but I wasn't able to help him unload all this, unfortunately. Looks like it's a few more than 10 bales, but it's some nice older grass hay, so that's pretty cool. Don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it just yet. I'll probably use it as nesting material for the chickens. Keep a few dry and probably put the rest in the garden. So I did get the drone comb out of the white hive and it looks pretty good. Front and back, all capped, perfect time. So I'll pop that in the freezer. Old hay actually works better as nesting box material versus straw, just because it's softer and the chickens can manipulate it a little easier. And we'll see how these girls do with it. Typically they like kicking everything out, but maybe they'll leave this stuff in. What do you girls think? Don't kick it right out? Maybe. Better finish it before they want to jump out on me. Had a phenomenal time catching up with a friend. We hung out, watched the storm roll in, but I gotta get ready for the farmer's market, so time to pack up and head over to my friend's farm and get their chores done. Well, y'all, I'm at my friend's farm right now. There was a storm system moving in. It's still kind of here. Weren't getting any rain quite yet, but there was a lot of lightning with this system. So pulled in, was just gonna be quick in and out. I was heading out to the barn, gotta close the chickens up. And then all of a sudden, everything went white. My eardrums just about popped. I was on the ground. There was a bolt of lightning that hit something right in front of me. And that was the closest I've ever been to lightning, closest I ever want to be to lightning again. I booked it inside the house. I'm okay. Yeah, that was super freaky. So I'm gonna wait till the system passes before I go out there and attempt to do anything. I'm gonna make sure it's really far away before I attempt to go out there and do anything again. That was super scary. Just thankful that it didn't hit me. Well, y'all, it has been a week, a very productive week, really. I got the honey harvest of catmint honey, which is really unique, very cool. 30 pounds of that, which is awesome. The well was drilled 210 feet with 50 plus gallons of water a minute. Also very awesome. What else? Oh, the storm that blew through yesterday or the day before and threatened to blow the farm down. That was pretty freaky, but thankfully not too many casualties, just a few tomato plants snapped, but in the grand scheme of things, not that bad. And then the storm tonight that just about got me. So I still have some things to get ready for the farmer's market, so I'm gonna call it here. My arms kind of start to throb a little bit too from the bee sting. You can't see it, but I feel it. So I'm gonna get that done. It's a little past 11 right now, so I'm gonna unload and get it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. You're always welcome to like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube things. I love reading y'all's comments, by the way. So anyway, we'll call it there, and I'll see you guys next week.